Hi, my name is Felix. I run an agency. I manage more than 7 figures for my clients. I travel to more than 40 countries. And in this video or these videos, I'm going to share my process of actually just distinctly separating what is most important and what is not important. Essentially, what are the essential few that I need to focus on and what else is like trivial and I should be forgetting. So what I actually did this morning, the past week I felt a little bit spread too thin and I was kind of working on too many different things at the same time. And I know if you have a lot of different interests that happens to you very easily, mainly for the reason that it's so easy for you to generate ideas. But the thing is, ideas without execution are pretty much meaningless and they don't do anything for your life, nor do they help anyone. So it's always important for me to be very clear on what is the most important thing and what I should ignore and what I should forget. And in my case, I'm working currently on two different things. So I have on one side my agency. I just put agents and A here. And on the other side, I'm building this YouTube channel / personal brand. Okay. So since it doesn't make sense for me to go all in on the YouTube right now, I did this mistake in the past and it's not smart that if this one isn't generating any income, then you don't want to just go all in. And I know the temptation is there to be like, well, I'm just going to go in, this will work out. But you have to be more realistic than that because some things don't work out. And you have to kind of work with this. So my agency is kind of the thing that brings in the money and it's kind of the thing where I make the most money and where I generate my income from. So I'm going to keep this and I'll keep this until I make more on this YouTube than on the agency. Only then I'm able to say like, well, I don't want this anymore, so I can do this full time or like the personal brand and stuff. And I had some other projects as well, but those are the key ones that I'm working in my career on right now. And the thing is, in order to achieve my goal of growing my agency, so there's a certain revenue goal I want to hit, and that is the goal, okay? And that is my long-term vision. Let's put it like this. So I know exactly what my long-term goal is and what my vision is. So what I want to achieve with this. And here's the problem. So once you set your goal and you already are clear on what the goal is, and that's what I experienced last week, there are many different ways to go to Rome, as they say, at least in Europe they do. And there are a lot of different things I could do. So for example, I could be doing LinkedIn content. I could start a YouTube channel for the agency as well. I could do cold mailing. I could do Upwork proposals. I could do direct outreach on Instagram or something. I could work on my positioning, all these different things. But the thing is, I could also build some systems or get better in clients fulfillment, like all these different things. But what I have to remind myself of over and over again is most of these things don't make a difference. And the worst thing I can do is to try to do them all, because then I'm not going to do anything of them good at all. And I'm not really making that much progress either. I'm just kind of running in circles. So the main question here is, what is the most important thing to achieve my long-term vision? And a very important distinction is you just want to look for one thing. Not 3 priorities, not 2, just one big priority in order to achieve this long-term vision that will get you there. And in my case, in order to grow it and make more revenue for a service business or a freelancing business, there's only really one priority, which is to generate leads. This is the main thing. And everything else that is not this and not generating leads, and you can double down this again, like, okay, what's my number one priority to generate more leads? Would be, in my case, which is the most successful one for me, to just do direct outreach. And now I know exactly that everything else that is not direct outreach for my agency is a distraction and is something that is noise and I should ignore, or it's best to be ignored. So there I have this clarity on what exactly I need to do and what else I need to ignore. And that is the key thing. And now the main problem is you're probably going to forget this. So you have to put this somewhere down. I think I put this somewhere here on my desk. But I wrote it down on a piece of paper, which I put on my desk every single day. So I'm not forgetting what the main priority is. Because it's very easy for you to let 7 days pass or so. And then you sit down again and you have multiple different ideas on what you can do again. And you have to do this kind of whole strategy thing again. Or you start to get to different answers, and then instead of doing direct outreach, you start to do LinkedIn content. And then 2 weeks later, you start to have more ideas and you start to open up a community. And then what ends up happening is that you keep running in circles without actually getting results, which is what we don't want.